Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for Yehuda's Chaya Basdina Bat. You should have a Leida Kala. It says in the Mishnah, in Sanhedrin, in the very first Mishnah, Beis Amid Aleph, ain't done in law, so Shevet, etc. When a tribe was over a Zara, you're only allowed to judge them with a Beis Din of 71. The Ramban in the Sefer HaMitzvahs and Mitzvah Kufnun Gimel writes that there's a T'nai in the Beis Din Hagadol that they only have a Torah as Beis Din Hagadol when they are b'mikoman, but when they're not b'mikoman, they lose their din of being a Beis Din Hagadol. And many ask on the Ramban from the Sifri and Parashat Shoftim, where we're marbeh from the fact that it says Ubasa. What does Ubasa mean? Beis Din Shebiyavne. There's a ribuy of even Beis Din Shebiyavne as a din of Beis Din Hagadol, even though they're not in the Beis HaMikdash, even though they're not b'makoman. So you see, not like the Ramban, that they don't have to be b'makoman in order in Nazara, in order to be the Beis Din Hagadol. Kasha and the Ramban. So in the Gvuras Yitzchak, upon which we're basing this shir, he answers possibly as follows: that in the Chiddushei Moran Rizal Levi ala Torah and Parashas Yisro, he explains that there are two ways. We already mentioned this in a recent shir. This Moran Rizal Levi. There are two ofanim that Beis Din, you need a Beis Din Hagadol. Number one, some things there's a mitzvah essay that you require dafka Beis Din shel ayin echad. You require dafka Beis Din of 71, like it says in the Mishnah, in Dan and Lo, it's a shevet. V'lo es hanavi sheker, v'lo es hakohen gadol, ela al pi Beis Din shel ayin echad. You need 71 for the shevet, for navi sheker, for kohen gadol. You need 71. So that's one area of halacha where you require, one case where you require Beis Din Hagadol. And these are all called davar gadol. Called a davar gadol yivir elecha. This is a davar gadol that you require a Beis Din of 71. And then there's another ofen that you need 71, and that is if there's a suffix or a machlokas bedin min adinim, and then the hachra is totally rak b'dei Beis Din Hagadol, as it says in the Torah, ki yapalim chadavar lemishpat, etc. V'kam tevelis. When you have a suffix in halacha, you need to go to the Beis Din Hagadol, and that's called davar hakoshe yeviu, and that's what the difficult things they brought to Moshe. Moshe had a din of 71. They brought to Moshe davar hagadol, which is certain, like a kohen gadol or a navi sheker or a shevet. That's davar gadol. Davar kosher is when you have a suffix in halacha. So those are the two areas in which you need Beis Din Hagadol, davar gadol and davar kosher. Now in the Yerushalayim in Sanhedrin, Parakid Aleph halacha gimel, this brisa the Sifri is brought to Bas l'Rabbis Beis Din shel b'yavne v'amrav zira l'she'ela. What does this mean? So based on what we said, that there are two dinim in Beis Din Hagadol, it would appear that the Yerushalmi is mechalek between these two dinim. The linyan of davar hagadol, that mitzad atzmo requires a Beis Din Hagadol, only the Beis Din Hagadol, and the Azar is going to have a Torah as Beis Din Hagadol, like the Ramban says. So maybe the Ramban is referring only to davar hagadol. These big questions, these questions of like we said before, a shevet, an avisheker, kohen gadol, davar hagadol. For that you need Beis Din Hagadol. However, if it's a davar hakoshe, when there's a suffix or a machlokas bedin min adinim that the achra depends on the Beis Din Hagadol, here even a Beis Din Shebiyavne will have a teras Beis Din Hagadol to be machriya the din, and that's what Reb Zira said. L'she'ela ritzono lomar. This means that it doesn't have a din teras Beis Din Hagadol unless there is a leidas suffix and you need a hachra of a Beis Din Hagadol. That's what Reb Zira says when he says l'she'ela. So basa, you should come, and that's l'rabos Beis Din Shebiyavne. And Reb Zira says that's talking about she'ela. That's talking about when you have a suffix in halacha for which you need the hachra of the Beis Din Hagadol. And that would be even not b'makom be'azara, even in Yavne. And the yisod hadavar to be machalik between these two cases of the requirement for Beis Din Hagadol would be that the ribui l'rabbos Beis Din Shebiyavne tichsivu basa. Isn't the pasuk ki yakalim chadavar lamishpat v'kam teve'alisa? And from that we learn that you need a Beis Din Hagadol for hadavar hakoshe lahachriya dino. And there we're marbe, even Beis Din Shebiyavne, because there it says ubasa v'kam tevlis when you have a difficulty. You go to the Beis Din, even the Beis Din Shebiyavne, But that they require Beis and Hagadol for Davar Hagadol, that we don't have a ribui. The ribui is in the pasuk talking about we have a suffix. So we have a suffix, we have ubasel, the rabbis Beis Din Shebi Avne. But you don't have a suffix, it's just a Davar Hagadol. That Beis Din has to be in their place and not in Yavne, not out of their place. So maybe that would be an teretz, the Kasha and the Ramban. Ramban says they only have a teretz Beis Din Hagadol when they're Rimakoman. Maybe that's only talking about Davar HaKosha. There we have the Ribu Ivubasa, Fila Beis Din Shebi Avne. But if it's a Davar Hagadol, for example, judging a Shevet and Abishek or Kohen Gadol, there they would have to be Bimakoman. And based on what we explain, what would the halacha be? What would the halacha be? In other words, how would we learn the makom of the Beis and Hagadol? Is the makom of Beis and Hagadol bazara only b'shvil Davar Hagadol, or really be'emes makom bazara even b'shvil Davar HaKosha? We just have a special ribui from Ubasa that b'di'eved the Beis and Hagadol can also be chutz la'azara. They still have a Torah as Beis Din, but the ideal place is Yerushalayim. We say no, that for Davar HaKosha the ideal place is anywhere. My own Natias Halev would be that the ideal place is Yerushalayim, and then b'di'eved we're also allowing for Yavne. Al kol panim, that is a possible mahalach to answer the kasha of the Ramban, the kasha on the Ramban. Gewaldik, Megait weiter in the Mishnah, sagt the Mishnah, Shor Niskol Besim V'Shloisha, Shenamar Sor Yisakel, V'gam Ba'alav Yumas, K'mitza Bailim Kach Mitzah Shor. It says that a Shor Niskol, a Shor that killed somebody and he gets skila, you need 23 judges, because it says that the Shor gets skila and the owner is also killed, and it says K'mitza Bailim Kach Mitzah Shor. Just like the Bailim you need 23 to execute, so too Mitzah Shor. So you see that Mitzah Shor has Torah's Dinei Nefashos that we require a Beis Din of 23, like Dinei Nefashos Shel Adam. So we have to know that Eidus Miyuchedes is Psula B'Dinei Nefashos. Is it also Psula Dinei Nefashos Shel Shor? We know there's something called Eidus Miyuchedes, the Gemara in Makis, that says that if there's one aid who sees from one window and another aid who sees from another window, that's Eidus Miyuchedes, two separate, unconnected Eidim. Are they considered, for the Eidus Nefashos, you need good Eidus? They can't be Eidus Miyuchedes, they can't be in two separate places not seeing each other. Rather, they have to be together, they have to see each other. So Eidus Miyuchedes is Pasal L'Dinei Nefashos. The Shaila is Eidus Miyuchedes also Pasal for Dinei Nefashos Shel Shor? We say no. It's only possible for Dinei Nefashos Shel Adam, but it's Kshera L'Dinei Nefashos Shel Shor. The Rach, Rabbeinu Chananel, in Makas Davavam and Beis writes that Eidus Miyuchedes is Psula Dinei Nefashos Shatara Chasa Alav. So the Shaila is, does Eidus Miyuchedes puzzle for Dinei Nefashos of a shore? So Rabbeinu Chananel says that Eidus Miyuchedes is puzzle L'Dinei Nefashos because the Torah Rachmanas on him. And so too writes the Yad Ramah, Daf Pei Aleph, the Sadusa Ma'al Yissalem, Nune Miu Rachmanu with the Chasa Liyeh, the Ligdalei B'hai Sadusa. So it also says Midin Rachmanus. Now later on in the Flamet Vavam and Beis, Omer Rabbi Abo Asar Dvarim Yesh Ben Dinei Mominus L'Dinei Nefashos V'Kula Mei Noagim B'Shur HaNiskol Chutz Mei Esrim V'Shloisha. There are 10 things that are a difference between Nefashos and Mominus, and none of them are Noag B'Shur HaNiskol except for the requirement of 23. And Rashi and Rama explain that they're all coming for Hatzalah. Umalan Ulachus Al Shor HaMuad Mudav L'Kayim Bo Bi'art Arami Kirbecha. So why should we be chas on a shor hamud? Better remove the evil from your midst. So you see that all those dinim, she is sodam lahatzala, einam noagim b'shor haniskol. Now, since Eidus Miyuchedes is pasol b'dinei nefashos, because the Torah is chasa alav, then Eidus Miyuchedes should be kosher for the Dinei Nefashos of a shore, because we want to be Makayim with the Art of Rabbi Kirbecha, so we're going to be Mekel Matir Eidus Miyuchedes. That's one side. However, the Gvuras Yitzchak brings the Balat Shrumis in Shar Lamed Ches Chelek Dalet. amazing sefer. He gets to places you wouldn't necessarily get on your own, and always with a kinech, always with a chiddush. So the Baal Shumas in Shar Lam and Ches Chelik Dalet is mefarish that it says in Bava Kama Daf Mem Aleph that Kshehemis Adam Al Pied Echad. The Gemara talks about when the shore is Memis Al Pied Echad. So the Baal Shumas explains it's talking about it's Eidus Miuchedes. That Echad Ramei Chalon Zeh Sheshar Ges Adam Echad Ramei Chalon Acher, and the shore isn't killed. Because kamisa bailim kach kamisa shore, and just like you're not makabel edus miuchedes b'dinei nefashos, so you're also not makabel edus miuchedes b'shore. So the Baal Shumas learns pshat in the Gemara that edus miuchedes is also puzzle in the dinei nefashos of a shore, and so writes Rabbi Kiva Eger in the Tshuvos in Siman Kofhei that edus miuchedes ein ashor nerak. So we have here apparently it would be a machlokes. If by Eidus Miuchedes, the shore is Nerag. Now, Tosin Makis and Avavam and Beis, Dibor Maschel B'din and Afashis ask that since it says Mishpat Echad Yelachem, so that we equate Mamanis and Nefashis. So why don't we learn Mamanis from Nefashis for this matter of Eidus Miuchedes being puzzle? That just like by Nefashis, Eidus Miuchedes is puzzle, so to by Mamanis. Now, if we say that Eidus Miuchedes is Psula Din and Nefashis Mitam Vitzilu Ha'eda, then how can we learn from it Dinei Mamanis? It's not a Din Midinei Nefashis, it's a Din Atzala. So you wouldn't be able to learn Mamanis from Nefashis. If you're learning that it's Midin, that Eidus Miuchedes is Midin Atzala. Now in Rosh Hashanah Chavav Amar Aleph, Amar Rabbi Akiva, the B'dinei Nefashis, Ein Eid Aroa Nasa Dayan. By Dinei Nefashis, if the Eid sees it, he can't become a Dayan, because the Torah says, V'shafto Eida V'tzilu Eida, and since he sees it, he's not going to be able to find the schus. But Dinei Mamanis, Eid Haroya Nasa Dayan, because we don't learn Dinei Mamanis from Dinei Nefashis from Mishpat Echad. Why? Since it's not a Din B'dinei Nefashis, it's Mitam Hatzalah. So this Inyan of Eid Nasa Dayan, of seeing the act of murder, seeing the act of Mamanis, so it's Midin Hatzalah, that we want to save the person. So Memele, you don't learn Mamanis from Nefashis, because when it's Midin Hatzalah, you can't learn Mamanis from Nefashis. So what do you see from Tosfos? From Tosfos, who asked the Kasha, why don't we learn Mamanis from Nefashis? It must not be Midin Hatzalah. It must be a halacha in Hilchas Eidus. And since it's a halacha in Hilchas Eidus, so Tosfos wants to learn Mamanis from Nefashis, because it's not a din in Hatzalah, it's a din in Eidus. And since it's a din in Eidus, why don't we learn Mamanis from Nefashis? But by Nefashis, we see Al Kopana Meshitas HaTosfos that it's not a din in Hatzalah. And now it's Gavaldik. If that's true, then we really don't have a machlokas anymore. Because what did we see before? We saw Rashi in the Yad Ramah say that it's Hatzalah. That we don't want to save the Shor HaMuad, and therefore the dinim of Hatzalah wouldn't apply to a Shor HaNiskal. Shor HaNiskal. You know, it wouldn't apply to Shor HaNiskal. We have no interest in saving him because it will be Arta Ramikir Becha. But then we saw the Baal Shumas who says that we do passel Eidus Miuchedes. But we wanted to say that according to Yad Ramah and Rashi, we wouldn't pass Eidus Miuchedes because we have no reason to save him. But if you say that Eidus Miuchedes is a Midin Hatzalah, then really there can be no machlokas. The Baal Shumas and Rabbi Kiva Eger are right that Eidus Miuchedes is kosher by Eidus Miuchedes, is possible by the shore, and the shore is not killed. And what about we saw in the Rishon and Rashi Yad Ramah that we don't want to save this animal because of because he's bi'ata mikir becha. The teretz is because the eidus miyuchedes being pasul is not midinat sala. If it were midinat sala, so then we would say, oh, we don't want to say this shor niskal. But since it's not midinat sala, like we see from the kasha of Tosfos, because Tosfos says, why don't we learn mamanas from nefashos that eidus miyuchedes there's a psul. And we said if it's a din in Hatzala, then you can't learn mamanas from nefashos. By nefashos it's possible because of Hatzala. So since it's not midin Hatzala, that eidus miyuchedes is possible, Memela we can also apply it to the shor niskal. Okay, so we have a little more insight b'siyata d'shmai into the Mishnah, and we're going to give ourselves a bracha that we should be zochel lilmod u'lelamed lishmor v'lasos u'lekayim is called divrei salmo torasa v'ahava. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.